Hello, my beautiful YouTube soul tribe. I am here again to talk about the upcoming new moon, which is happening on July 14th in Vedic Punarvasu nakshatra in Gemini. So if you see me looking down, I just have some notes that I wrote down during a really beautiful meditation about this energy with the new moon, that I really felt so much purity and so much just beautiful energy from this star, and yeah, lots of insights that I'm excited to share. So this new moon is going to be conjuncting the retrograde Mercury, which started on June 29th. So Mercury will still be retrograding and will be conjunct during this time of the new moon. And it will be combust the sun at the time of this new moon specifically. So this is really powerful and interesting in terms of when you think about, like, when a planet is combust the sun, it means it's really close to the sun, and the intensity of the sun is kind of overpowering that planet. So Mercury is being overpowered by the sun, and symbolically what comes up at the time of a combustion is, with Mercury also being retrograde, what is symbolically being shown to us is times in the past where we have also been overpowered by seemingly like external figures that are seemingly bigger and more powerful and more authoritative than us. This can be like parental figures, bosses, government, any sort of authority in our life, or even like partners, relationships, like friendships with people who just have a bigger energy than we do, or like just seem to be more in control. And it's situations that are coming up now where we have lost our voice, lost our inner guidance system, and like stepped away from our own truth and our own voice and our own ability to like really be in our truth, be in our authenticity, and we have betrayed ourselves, or we have been coerced, manipulated, just like not aligned with our truth for whatever reason. And there's so many ways where the external world can pull us away from our truth, and this is going to come up at the time of the new moon, and just this entire month actually, because Mercury is retrograde this entire month. We're being called to reflect and review and revisit things in the past that for a reason, to gain a new awareness and understanding. So yeah, this new moon is really calling for us to connect with that inner voice within and that inner guidance system, and make space for that. The new moon is when the moon is its darkest, so it is like when we have the ability to make space for the darkness within us, the shadows, the parts of ourselves that we don't always make space for, and to really hear and listen to that. And the full moon, which we will have on June, which I will make another video about soon, but the full moon, which we'll have towards the end of the month on July 29th, is also in this nakshatra, which is literally symbolized by the ear. So there is this energy, like so much throat chakra recalibration, healing, activations, realignment taking place this month. And I see it like this energy of when your soul is undergoing changes, kind of like when the caterpillar is in the cocoon, and it's like things are taking place when the caterpillar is in the cocoon that you don't know, that you can't see, and before it can transform into a butterfly. And this month we are being called to make space for ourselves to go through the upgrades that especially our throat and our heart is needing for us, and we need to make space for those upgrades and activations, and we can assist in those upgrades and activations through meditation, through journaling, through actually reflecting on the things that are wanting to come up, the thoughts, the beliefs that are coming up, the maybe repeating patterns and cycles that may be coming up, any like feelings and sensations, like paying attention to our body as well is a big one. The mother goddess Aditi, who is the deity involved with Punarvasu, is actually depicted without a head, and she like has this she's depicted without a head, which is really interesting when we think about this new moon being in Gemini, and Gemini is mental, it is intellectual, it's in the mind, and it to me it symbolizes the importance of us needing to develop that mind to body connection. One is not like they are both just as important as each other, and we need to be able to really make space to feel and to honor the sensations that we get in our body, and like that is a part of our discernment and our intuition, is being able to feel what like feels right in our body just as much as like the mental intellectualizing and like reflecting on things and logically analyzing things. That is also has its place and importance, but so does feeling and the body. And because this new moon, every new moon is an opportunity for us to plant new seeds, to set new intentions for this next chapter in our life. So we're given the opportunity to rewrite this new chapter, this part of our story, and also to really think about how we can water and allow those seeds to flourish. So what do we need to do to really honor ourselves and our bodies so that we can move forward and create these new intentions that we have set? We need to be strong enough to do that through nourishing ourselves and caring for ourselves, and that is very like connected to this Punarvasu energy. So Punarvasu is known as the return of the light, renewal after the tower energy from last month. So we are being asked to go back, to repeat, to reflect, and to then release what is no longer serving us. And through that, we renew, we recharge, we replenish, and then we can reclaim our power and strength. Through repetition and through practice, this is what creates confidence through consistency and growth. And we're returning back to our past and anywhere in our lives where we had rose-colored glasses, where we were in a disillusionment and our perception has not been aligned with truth. And I say this all because Neptune is also retrograde. Neptune started retrograde on the 3rd of July. So depending on when you watch this video, I'm making this video a bit before that, so the Neptune will be retrograding on the 3rd of July for 5 months, and Saturn will be retrograding soon as well. There's just so much going on. So yeah, the seeds that we plant, the intentions that we set now with the assistance of Mother Aditi will really, like the way that they grow really will depend on our own focus and our intentions and our ability to nurture and nourish those seeds. There is the quiver of arrows, which is an image of like one of the symbols of Punarvasu, which represents the need to, like, you don't just hit your target in one go. There is multiple arrows, there are multiple tests, there's multiple opportunities and situations that you get in life where you do need to repeat cycles to gain perceptions and understandings from all sorts of different perspectives. I feel like that tends to happen during karmic situations where you haven't been able to process a situation. At least for me, I'm curious to hear if you all resonate as well, but I've noticed in my life with really karmic situations that I've had, that I haven't been able to either forgive another person or forgive myself. I've had to re-experience that story, that situation in every person's point of view so that I can really understand and integrate. And I believe it's happening to just develop total non-attachment and acceptance and forgiveness and love, I guess, for each person, and just like, yeah, just that deep understanding. So, oh yeah, also with the arrow, it's like when you pull the arrow back, that's symbolic of like having to take a few steps back. Pulling it back, the further you pull back, the further you go back to really deepen your awareness, your understanding, your integration of experiences, the more able then you'll be able to like that arrow is able to charge full speed ahead really fast, and it can give you more clarity, it can give you more sharpness in direction once you take those few steps back, instead of just like, you know, pulling the arrow without really aiming and directing and really taking your time to go back. So yeah, that is a big theme of this star. A super interesting takeaway I've taken from one of Claire Nukti's videos, which I mentioned this in my July monthly update, but I feel the need to talk about it again because it's so connected to this new moon being in Punarvasu. But the energies of Punarvasu is so pure when it comes to love, and they really want to connect with true, pure love, which is free from any external conditions or superficialities. And like Claire Nukti, if you don't know her, she makes Vedic astrology videos connected to movies, and she relates them to different characters in movies, and like, yeah, highly recommend. She's super creative and profound with everything that like I've seen from her work. But in her Punarvasu video, she has got all of these comparisons of movies where there is a character who is seen as like a beast, like Beauty and the Beast, or Frankenstein, or Shrek, where Fiona turns into the ogre, and like either like the character is someone who is not conventionally beautiful, or they have been like disconfigured or mutated in some sort of way, and so they're not seen as conventionally attractive. And it's just like these Punarvasu natives, they are searching for or wanting to connect with love that doesn't care about how you look, because like at the end of the day, we all like, looks fade, and when it comes to like superficial type of things, like it's important to be attracted to your partner, like physically attracted to someone. But yeah, it's so interesting with Punarvasu, it's like wanting to connect deeper with what is within you, with feeling like connected to energy and like the light within you. Like Punarvasu is literally the return of the light and the renewal energy which comes through healing, and it's just so pure and beautiful. And I want to mention it because this like new moon is happening in Punarvasu. Mercury is retrograde in Punarvasu, which started on June 12th, and Mercury will be retrograde in Punarvasu. Not retrograde, actually. The retrograde will end on July 23rd, but Mercury will remain in Punarvasu until August 7th. So yeah, Punarvasu basically is just this really powerful energy right now, this new moon as well. And that energy of like real authentic love, which comes from within, is really significant because we also have Venus and K2 in Leo, which the shadow of Leo is what K2 is wanting to bring up. Any karmic attachments, toxic ways of relating with others that are tied to the energy of Leo, which can be performative and can be wanting to like seeking validation and approval and recognition in ways that aren't authentic and requiring you to betray yourself in certain ways because you don't love yourself, because you don't feel good enough. And that's so interesting that now we also have this powerful, like real strong energy of Punarvasu as well, which is wanting to like really awaken us to any ways that we may be acting in that way. Rahu also being in Aquarius is wanting us to be super authentic and liberated in the way that we show up for ourselves and for others. Another thing when it comes to that like authenticity, when it comes to love, is this new moon is happening in Gemini, and the next full moon will be happening in Capricorn. And in tarot, Gemini is the lover's tarot, Capricorn is the devil tarot, which I don't have the cards on me at the moment, but they're basically two lovers in both cards. One is the light, one is the shadow, and Capricorn shows us the shadow of all matters to do with love, which comes through not being authentic. That's when we become codependent, or we step away from ourselves, we become trapped in toxic cycles, addictions with partners, we feel trapped, we aren't doing what we want to, we're like compromising, overly compromising and betraying ourselves because of relationships. And like in the devil tarot, it's like a man and a woman who have these chains around their necks, which they are choosing to live in that way because the chains are loose. Like they could take that off if they wanted to, but they choose to stay stuck. And especially after a tower month, like we are being asked to change and to grow and to evolve, and all of this retrograde energy is giving us the opportunity to do that and to reflect on what it is that we do need to change and release and let go, and just recalibrate that stuff to do with our heart and our throat especially. So heart and throat chakra healing, highly recommend to do in this time. So I've also got written down about Gemini, because this new moon is happening in Gemini. Some of the themes especially that come up with Gemini is to do with communication, all sorts of communication, connection, knowledge. So when it comes to communication, like the way that we talk to ourselves, the inner dialogue that is happening internally creates our thoughts, creates our beliefs, creates our perception. Words are literally spells, and I remember getting this insight when I was meditating about the full moon, which will be happening after this new moon. And there's so much to do with like the throat and the way that we speak to ourselves, and this energy of really needing to be disciplined in rewriting our thoughts, the loops that maybe we're used to speaking to ourselves in certain ways that aren't serving us. Like some of it is just external programming that we've taken on. And yeah, so yeah, communication, knowledge which we need to develop discernment for, because there is so much happening now with like AI, and there's just so much knowledge out there in the world. And Punarvasu wants us to develop that inner guidance system, to trust in our discernment and our ability to know what is true, and to to follow our inner guidance system when it comes to all of the information that's out there that's not necessarily all true. So Gemini is about connections as well, socializing, social media, short distance travel, any sort of way to connect, whether it's like writing, speaking, any way that you can be a messenger, and also like skills that involve your hands, also your siblings. So yeah, if anything that you want to rewrite your story when it comes to those themes, just have a think about it and reflect, and rewrite those intentions for yourself and for your story, for this powerful new chapter, which there is a return of the light that's wanting to come through to help us feel more clear with our throat, and more open with our hearts, and more just connected to love, to truth, to authenticity, and to liberation, which is just a really powerful time. And it's like so much to look forward to. And I wish you all so much love and so much healing. And I will see you all in my next video.